A case of AI voice cloning has sparked discussion on Chinese social media in recent months. A well-known voice actor has claimed AI-generated versions of his own voice have become so widespread that some platforms are mistaking his real voice as being machine-generated.
冠军侯说我是中国历代武将可望而不可及的最高山峰，忘了。
Millions of netizens have heard Shen Anyu's distinctive voice. The voice actor has spent years narrating online videos, from film explainers to animation commentaries. 3 years ago, his voice was involuntarily cloned using AI. According to Chinese media reports, this has resulted in a loss of voice acting jobs, with his monthly income dropping to just 1/5 of what it was at its peak. Mr. Shen says he has repeatedly asked people to stop using his cloned voice, but to no avail.
在网络上证明我是个人都很难。这3年，我连告1个人的钱我都没攒下来。这3年发展出了多少我的 AI？ 我怎么去告？从源头上断不了。 我的 AI 就会永久的传下去。
For more, CNA's Rebecca Mateo joins us live from Beijing. Rebecca, this story has captured a lot of attention, but why has Shen Anyu's case struck such a chord with the public?
That's right, Grace. As you mentioned, this story about the voice actor Shen Anyu went viral earlier this week on Chinese social media platform Weibo. And that's really because, that sparked a wider discussion on AI voice cloning. So many netizens expressed their sympathy for him, and they simply found it ridiculous how he still has to prove that he's a real person after AI copies of his voice was spread so widely online. And something that the netizens brought up was that, those in the creative industry really are facing a much broader challenge, especially, as technology catches up and that AI seems to be able to replicate their work so much more easily. But the conversation wasn't exactly about being against AI. People know that AI is the future, it's here to stay, but what they're really asking for are better rules and better protections for people like Mr. Shen. And in fact, from the things that I've read online, I know that Mr. Shen is not the only one or the first one who had such an experience. And I think this is going to become a bigger issue down the road because already we are seeing AI-generated voices all over Chinese social media platforms. They are being used in microdrama, storytelling, as well as even knowledge-sharing videos.
Definitely. And as you mentioned, AI is here to stay, but finding how we can adapt with it is another question. And it seems like you've tried this AI voice cloning app yourself. So how convincing was it?
So, Grace, Mr. Shen's experience really got me thinking. And, AI voice cloning technology has gotten so much more advanced in recent years. So some simply generate a speech from text, while others create digital copies of someone's voice just from a few recordings. And if you get the more advanced versions, you can even tweak the tone, the emotion, the speaking style, or even create avatars that look and sound just like a real person. So Chinese tech companies like iFlyTech, Baidu, Tencent, they also have AI speech abilities and also digital human technologies. And in fact, China is one of the world's most active AI markets, and according to the country's internet regulator, there are over 190 generative AI models registered for public use by 2024 with over 600 million users. So all this really got me thinking just how convincing this technology has become. So I did a small little experiment with one of the AI voice cloning tools available in the market, just because that was the most straightforward one to use. Let's take a closer look. Artificial intelligence is making it easier than ever to recreate someone's voice, so I will be putting it to the test. All I need to do is to upload a few short recordings of my voice to an AI voice cloning platform developed by a Shanghai-based AI company. It saves this as my voice. Then I will go to another page where I can tweak everything from the speed and pitch to the emotion. For example, I can highlight certain words, apply an emotion like happy, sad, or angry, making the voice sound even more natural. It's only been less than 30 seconds, and here's a digital clone of my voice.
你好，我想问问你，周末的时候你是比较喜欢待在家，还是出去走走呢？我自己如果有时间的话，还是喜欢出去逛逛，找一家咖啡店坐下来放松一下。那你呢？
I recorded the same script with my own voice, and next I hit the Beijing streets to put people to the test. 待会会播2个录音给你，一个是 AI 生成的，一个是真人的声音。想问一下，你分得出吗？
我认为偏向于 AI。
为什么呢？
这个因为这个声音的频率和这个波状，这个比较一致，比较有稳定性。
它那个语音语调非常的模板，就非常标准。有点太标准了，就我觉得每个人的就是多少都是有点自己的口癖。
哇，两端都很真，但是从那个语调语速来说，就是第一段更像 AI 吧。
跟咱们平常说话的感觉比较接近一些，它没有那个相当于固定的那个声音的那个，就是那个模子吧，就感觉。能感觉到像一个类似一个机器人这样的说的。
好的，其实第一段是真人，第二段录音才是 AI， 被骗到了是吧？对，
挺像的。
3 out of 5 people I asked could pick out the real human voice, but perhaps the bigger question now isn't just whether people can tell the difference, but what happens when they can't.
I mean, that was fascinating, Rebecca. It's very convincing as it picks up even the little human habits, including emotions. But China does have some of the world's strictest rules on AI-generated content. And you spoke to a lawyer on what the gaps are and what improvements may need to be there. So what exactly did the lawyer tell you that people can do about such fast-developing AI?
Yep, Grace, you're absolutely right on that. And I spoke to lawyer Cai Peng from Zhonglun Law Firm, and he said that China actually already has a fairly comprehensive legal framework for AI-generated content and voice cloning, meaning that it has laws, regulations, as well as national standards in place. And for example, companies are in general required to label the content as being AI-generated so that users know that it isn't real. But he says that the bigger challenge really isn't the law. It comes down to enforcement because technology is moving at such a fast pace and simply regulators, the courts and police just can't keep up. So he said that the authorities really need to work more closely together to strengthen their technical expertise if they want to enforce these rules more effectively. Let's have a listen.
联合性执法还不够，我们能看到啊，就是比如说行政。法院和就特别是刑事，就公安、法院，就是3者一起联合起来的执法，其实在这个场景下是挺有必要的，因为我们知道大量的 AI 的伪造，对 AI 的这种深度伪造，其实衍生了很多诈骗案件，可能每个执法机关对于相应的技术啊或者这个理解还都不一样，因为确实变化很快了。
But as for the voice actor Mr. Shen, Mr. Cai says that China has seen several lawsuits involving AI voice cloning, but these cases are particularly challenging because the burden is on the voice actor to prove that the AI-generated voice infringes his rights, and that will be a tough battle to fight. Let's hear from him.
即使我拿到了这个他侵权的这样的一个。 声音对吧？和我自己声音做比对，这是另外一个路径。但是这个路径的话，问题是现在在司法鉴定层面上，其实是没有一个非常具有规范性或者是公示性的这样的一个标准。就我以什么标准来去做这个司法鉴定？我到底是以声纹为标准呢，还是以这个语音语调为标准呢？
Right, though this report may have started with the well-known voice actor in AI cloning, it's now widespread in China. So you've spoken to some people there. Are they embracing such AI-generated content, or are there more concerns about where the evolving technology is heading to?
That's right, Grace. So I also spoke extensively to the people you saw earlier in that story. And what I've heard from them is that AI-generated content seems to be very much part of everyday life already. So the people here watch a lot of micro-dramas, otherwise also known as duanju. And these micro-dramas, some of the scripts have been written using AI, while some of the micro-dramas have been produced using AI actors, AI voice. And what people are telling me is that they don't mind if this microdrama has been produced using AI actors and AI voice. What matters more to them is the story plot. But they do know where to draw the line, and that's when they are looking out for critical, important information. That's when they'll be more wary about AI-generated content. Let's have a listen.
短剧还好，就是一些什么科普啊，那种东西全部都用 AI 的话，其实大众有点难以分辨真假。
我觉得其实 AI 制作的这些，比如说像什么短剧还有动画，其实还是那个没有办法替代，就是真的大家一帧一帧画出来的动画，你可以明显的感觉到其实。
我认为比较接受不了的，主要是因为这个故事本身可能不符合我的胃口。AI 时代这个 IP 的价值是得到了。这个很大程度的彰显和拓展。
So people do recognize the challenges ahead, especially the impact that AI and technology will have on the creative jobs. So it's definitely something to be watched as China goes big on AI and technology in the next phase of its economic development. Grace.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for that extensive report on AI evolving in China. Thank you for reporting live from Beijing.